Hello and welcome to another episode of the djproject Criterion Collection. And here we're going to talk about Spine 59, The Night Porter, directed by Liliana Cavani, 1974. I just revisited this and I still have very mixed feelings about it. I also cannot tell you for the life of me what got me to get this in the first place. This is arguably an example of Nazi exploitation cinema. Thank you, cinema snob. And actually, this is a genuine art film version of Nazi exploitation. So yes, the cinema snob can own something from the Criterion Collection and not be totally ashamed of it. Maybe. Okay, in all honesty, I really don't know what to make of this. I think I know why it revolts me. It's not. I don't want to outright dismiss it. I don't want to say that this is total utter trash. And if I do say that it's total utter trash, I want to at least be specific. But I think I get what the point of it is, but I think the bottom line is that it deals with a genre that I'm not particularly interested in. I am interested in some of the ideas that are presented. Okay, I'll tell you what this is. This is what this covers. The Night Porter is about... It takes place in Vienna in 1957, and there's a guy who works the night shift at a hotel, and he was once an SS officer. And one day, a conductor arrives with his wife, Lucia. Oh, and the porter's name is Max. And they once had a S&M relationship in a concentration camp. And over the course of it, that relationship gets rekindled, much to his delight and much to her delight, but not to the delight of his little camp of ex-Nazi buddies, who are putting him on trial and basically trying to get him to forgive and forget the past and to kind of move on with his life, but he can't really do that. I think probably the biggest problem of it is that I think in its attempts to try to be morally ambiguous and to cloud it with mystery, it puts a lot of I really don't know, because supposedly this is supposed to be the kind of film that I like, in terms of narrative being oblique and have it be about character studies and so forth. But I don't know, there's just something about it. I don't know if it's just the presentation of it or the way it comes off. But for starters, as a Criterion disc, this is an example of what happens when Criterion does not care. Even though it's released fairly later, it's one of the few still lingering non-anamorphic enhanced DVDs that they have currently out there, and we're talking it's just the film itself. There's I don't think there's even an essay with it. There's certainly not like a trailer or anything like that. And I don't know if it was just they just didn't care to put it out, or didn't have enough in the way of supplements. I think maybe that's probably part of the problem is that a lot of people had to kind of figure it out. This one little anecdote that I found out was part of the motivation for the writing and the making of it was Liliana Cavani was visiting Auschwitz because I think she wanted to work on film about the Holocaust, and she was sitting there, and there was this woman that came in with a bunch of flowers and laid it out, and she stopped and asked him, "Did you lose a loved one there?" And she said that, well, I was a prisoner here, and my lover was an officer, and actually he was shot while the camp was being liberated, and every year I mourn for him, and that was the basis of the relationship that constitutes the film, and you can see where I'm going with this. I mean, it is an intriguing set of ideas, exploring the role of sex and the role of sex in relationship to power, victim and oppressor. That line gets to be kind of blurred. This is not your typical Nazi. He's not, even though he does slap and domineer, he's kind of a wimp in a lot of ways. He comes off as very, very meek. And even he admits that he's very much a church mouse. And Lucia is appears to be more clever and more assured of herself instead of just being an oppressed victim. So I don't know what I think. I really come off this as it's a very mixed bag. I know there are people out there that love the film or appreciate it, but like I said, I don't want to just outright dismiss it and say this is total utter trash. I could sense that there was something there, that it was going for something, but I'm not entirely sure what. And I don't know if I want to give this more thought than it needs to. I mean, again, in revisiting it, it felt like a very, very mixed bag, and it kind of left me feeling kind of icky in the end. And there may be a deeper reason why. It's not just, oh, this is about Nazis. Oh, this is Nazi exploitation. This is a very strange, I don't know what, but it's not for superficial reasons. But I don't know. It's just, again, it's a very, very mixed bag. So I really don't know what more I can say to it. And I tried to think of something to talk about with this, but really it just is. It's an art film that has elements of the Nazis, and it doesn't pretend to be a historical film by any means. It's more exploring the strange ways that we relate to each other, I guess, including mixing dominance and sexuality, and again, I think I want to give it a lot more credit, because this is not some hack job. This is not some. I mean, I call it Nazi exploitation, but it's not really that. It's more art film than exploitation per se. But I don't know where the problems of it lie. And some people would say, well, there's no real problems. That's kind of the point. Well, I don't know if I wanted to spend that much time trying to dissect it. And considering that there are a lot more films out there that are worth some time and attention, and also doesn't make you feel really ick, I will give it this. I do appreciate the challenge of it, and that it doesn't insult your intelligence. It's not stupid, but it's just, I don't know, there's just something I can't really pin down just yet. So I'm just going to just kind of leave it alone and leave it at that. So this is just going to be one of those bum things where there's not really that much to talk about. I don't know if there's I know there is stuff, but I just can't think of it right now. So I'm sorry I'm one of those guys that if you thought that I could say something really substantive and really profound and meaningful with this, that I can't really think of anything. Just I guess if you want to go down that route, that's fine. And if you have an idea of what this is supposed to be, if there's something that I'm missing, and I'm genuinely interested if you do want to go down that path. As long as you're not a jerk about it and saying that you just a prude, or you don't be obnoxious about it, but just I am curious if I'm missing something, or I don't know. But at any rate, sorry, that's the Night Porter. And until next time, take care.